The following film commentary is strictly for people 18 and older. It discusses film content that is patently adult, perverse in nature, and pushes the boundaries of good taste and sanity. It should not be viewed by anyone.
Hey friends, happy Friday. We're here. We survived.
We did it.
We did it. We did it.
What'd we do?
We did it.
Well,
What happened?
we made it through another week. We made it through a crazy film. So
Yeah.
we're here.
Where
We're
am
here.
I right now? I don't know what's going on.
All right, Caleb, just sit in the corner and drink your juice box. It'll be okay. So, we'll move on. Anyway, welcome everyone. It is the Cult Show on a wonderful Friday evening.
Yeah.
We're here yet again to talk pop culture, I guess. Is this film pop culture we're talking today, or is it just pop pop a cap in your ass? I don't know. What would you call it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is any cult film pop culture? I mean, I guess I don't know. Don't ask me these hard, impossible questions of society.
Okay. Well,
We'll
let's put a pin on that and then we'll decide once we're
put
done.
that in the
How's that?
parking lot.
Put
Put that in the
Yes.
parking lot.
scoot it on over. So, hey Sandra, are you drinking?
Hey. Oh
you have
my
hydration?
gosh. I am so excited about my hydration. You guys. So I have my favorite cup. I have a lovely straw, so I don't mess up my lip gloss. I have my herbaceous NA gin from Seedlip, the garden that I love so much. Got a nice fizzy water happening. Then I have from my own garden lavender and rosemary. I did
Wow.
a muddle. Of the thing,
Nice.
and
That's a
then
very
you do
fragrant
them.
drink.
Oh, it's delightful. And it is, wait for it, delicious.
Good.
Awesome. Good
Excellent.
job.
Thank
Would
you.
have killed throw together.
Yeah. Same old. The interesting thing is I'm using my Beetlejuice tiki cup mug thingamajigger that Michael got
I
me.
love that mug.
So thank you, Michael, for this. I'm finally getting around to use this. Sorry about that. Inside,
So
I've
cute.
got a bourbon and ginger.
Nice.
Oh.
The old standby.
Like mother used to make bourbon and ginger for the children.
There you go.
And like my mother never made me, but probably should have, because maybe we'd have a better relationship now if she had. I have bourbon, fresh squeezed orange juice, and the vanilla again. So this is kind of my go-to.
I think talking about parental child relationships, like that should just be the new theme of our show. Like that's just what we
think
do
so?
now. Yeah, we
Okay.
just like we lure people in with like a film, and then we're like, ha ha ha, group therapy.
Yeah. So what did your mother really think of you?
Yeah,
What did
let's
your
get her on
dad
the
do
phone.
to...
It's gonna
Yeah.
be kind of like a Dr. Phil moment, Maury Povich vibes.
So we're gonna find out whose parent is really who.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and like do DNA tests and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Nice.
So everyone in the chat, pee in a cup and send it to Sandra's house. So then we'll have your...
Yes, I have a lab. I'm not going to sell it on the internet to strangers. Why would you even suggest I was going to
with
do
pictures
that?
of her feet. She would never do
Oh
that.
my god, it comes with a picture of a foot. Buy now.
Oh, you can make a killing if you did that. Oh man.
It's a lot more work than people think.
All right. Well, cheers to all the foot fetish urine folks out there. But
Takes a village, right? Takes a
happy
world.
Friday.
Chin chin.
Oh, we're back. We're back.
We're back. We're back.
All right.
We're
So
back.
let's see, Sandra. I guess.
Yes.
Can you let us know what happened this week in your life?
Oh, I don't have a lot of really exciting things to share. Saw you guys because we actually watched this film together. Not the first time I'd seen it. First time for y'all though. So that was kind of fun. I think, well, let's see. That's probably the most thrilling thing I've done all week. Tell you the truth. Tell you the darn
Really?
truth. Well, and I'm reading a book for Genre Junkies next week,
Yep.
but and had an interview and read another book. And
Well, your interview is kind of important.
Well, yeah, but it's not out yet.
Oh, you can't talk about it. Oh, okay.
It's not out yet. It's
Okay.
not out till early May.
Oh, okay.
But
Never
stay tuned.
Okay.
How
Pretty
about you
big
guys?
interview.
Yeah, it is.
Huge. Huge.
All right, Kayla. What about you?
My turn? All right.
Yeah.
I started watching on Amazon a new anthology called They, about a Black family that moves from, I can't remember which, North or South Carolina.
Yes.
It takes place in the 50s. They moved to Compton, California, when it was all white and very racist and prejudiced, and but then there's also like a horror element going on that I'm only, I think, 2 episodes in, so I don't really know what's going on. Not that I would give it away anyway, but
It's called Them, not They.
Them. Sorry. Thank you.
I don't know what
Them.
They is.
Them. And then let's see. Also, I got my first vaccine shot yesterday.
Got the good juice.
So far, so good. I'm feeling all right.
The kids call it the Fauci ouchie.
Yep, that's what it's
The kids are
called.
calling it.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I did that
not
yesterday.
just the kids. I think a lot of people. I've heard a lot of good names for it, but Fauci ouchie is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got mine a while back.
Yeah.
I'm all done. So's Neil.
Yes. So half of the cult show crew are fully vaccinated, and the other half are 1 shot in.
Yes.
And then
That's pretty good odds.
That is pretty good odds. And 1/4 of those is not feeling very well today because of said COVID shot. So
Fauci ouchie.
Yes, they're Fauci ouchie. So yes. Poor Scott.
Poor Scott.
Producer Scott, he's in sick bay. He's parked in sick bay.
He is.
I mean, he's here. He's all
Come on,
around.
McCoy. Come on, Crusher. Get on it.
Whoever's on the job of this fleet, I don't know Star Trek well enough. I can't keep this up.
Yeah, 9 either. But so poor Scott. He watched a film that didn't so suit him so much very well, however you want to say it, and he got he's not feeling so good, so he got a kind of a double whammy this week.
It's not been his best week.
Yeah, so please send him all the pictures of feet and urine that you can to make him feel better. So,
but don't do it here. Do that on your own time.
Do it somewhere else. All right.
Not in our chat.
Yes. And then, Caleb, was there anything else? I'm sorry, I don't want to.
No. That was yeah.
Okay.
Good.
And then I can't think of anything else that I watched other than, of course, the film with you guys as well. So yeah, we can keep it nice and short. The one thing I didn't do was see who was in the chat. I totally forgot. As
Who's
usual,
in that chat? Who's
to go to the chat
there?
and say hello to everyone. So
who is it?
Well, our good buddy Mark Visions Truth from East Washington is with us, and he got his first shot as well.
Get that shot.
I guess today it looks like maybe. So awesome. And we also have Laura with us. Hello, Laura. Sir Hungry is in the chat, all the way, of course, from Australia.
Hello.
Michael B, the wonderful Michael B.
Yes. Hi, Michael.
Hello, Michael. Kelly, our good friend Kelly, who also got her shot yesterday as well, her first shot.
My gosh.
Spooky fam getting shots.
Getting the shots. All right. Mindy. Hello, Mindy. The horror addicted. Mindy.
Same girl, same.
Yeah. Pismo over in Pismo Beach.
Pismo,
Market
yeah.
there.
Redundant, yes.
Yes. So
It's fine.
he's in a wonderful, godly place in California.
Makes it sound like he died.
And went to Pismo.
Looking for that afterlife.
That's right.
Get that afterlife.
And I think so far that's it. That's everyone that's with us right now.
Could be some turkey lurkeys out there.
There could be.
Yeah.
They
Say
like
hi.
to
They want to talk about Martyrs with us.
Yep. Okay. Otherwise, let's see. I want to go back to. Did you guys? I read this thing this week. I thought was kind of interesting, and that was. Did you guys know that before Tom Hanks was cast in the film Big, Robert De Niro was actually supposed to play the role of Josh Baskin?
No, Jesus, no. That is
Wow.
fucking hilarious. Can you imagine?
And that it was
No.
going to have a little bit of a darker tone to it. Then, of course, but I guess
Raging Bull in Big.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Cape
just
Fear,
great.
big Cape Fear, or whatever you want to call it. You know.
Oh
But-
my God. I mean, I love
yeah.
Robert De Niro. I know we all do, but
Yes.
yeah, it's so funny how movies go through different tones and, vibes and stuff before they get made and all the way there. But
Yeah,
damn on that one.
No, I mean, just think of. I mean, because that's the film that pretty much cemented Tom Hanks as like being a bankable
Yeah.
lead man. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
going from there. So, I mean,
Right.
he probably still would have become successful in everything that he is, but the film would have been totally different, no question. I mean, it's funny that once he got cast,
Do
they
you
added.
think Bobby De Niro would have still danced on the big keyboard?
You know, I'm trying to remember now if that part was written for Tom Hanks or if it was already in there. I don't remember now, but
Perhaps it was improvised.
But it was an interview with Joss. What's the gal's name? The lead gal, Perkins, Elizabeth Perkins.
Yes.
I don't remember.
And she's I guess had confirmed it or brought it up or something. So it was kind of cool. Just
It's
thinking,
really
what a
funny
different
to me.
movie that would have been.
Yeah.
I feel like
seriously.
that's an SNL sketch, like just waiting to happen. I think it's perfect.
Yep. And then
Is
I had
that
one-
kind of? Oh yeah, I like it. This is more like instead of this week in entertainment history, it's like random fact, throw it at us.
Yes.
Kapow.
Random facts, yes. So you said that there actually, yeah. So thank you. There is no this week in entertainment history because you know what, it's getting a little tired. Maybe we'll make it not an every week thing necessarily. We'll see. But
And Neil's tired, people. He's opening theaters left, right, and center.
yeah, and grant things and everything in between that's going on.
So busy.
But this one thing kind of funny happened to me, and I go, oh, that's gonna be a fun story for the cult show because. At least I think it is. We'll see what happens. But
we'll see how it goes over. Go on.
okay, so all you guys, get your Pulp Fiction hats on real quick.
Let me grab
Okay.
it. Okay.
Got it? Perfect.
on.
Okay.
Let me fix my
So,
hair.
I was trying to clear up a billing issue that we had with our supplier of our projection equipment because we paid for it with a credit card, and then they also sent an invoice. And so I was trying to write them an email about this issue that I have. And so our technician, her name is Bonnie. And so I actually started writing in their subject line, the Bonnie situation. And then I just started laughing out loud to in my office. It's like, holy crap, I actually have a Bonnie situation.
Oh my God, that's
So-
perfect. And it's perfect because did you keep it as a subject line?
I don't remember if I did or not now, actually. I don't
Well,
remember
it's a
if I,
wonderful little Easter egg because
It is.
it's the truth, but it's also people would notice it. And it's funny because it's a film company thing. And
right. That's true. I don't remember if I kept it or not. I'll be quite honest. So, but anyway, I don't know. It was one of those
irrelevant
things.
if you did or didn't, but still
Yeah.
awesome. But
It did it.
like you said,
I
you had a
tickled my
Bonnie
own fancy.
situation.
So.
And
Look at my little
at least
joke.
the wolf didn't have to get involved. So
Nope. Yeah. Luckily, it was.
That's kind of a bummer, actually.
So no, it all worked out great because they called me, we talked, everything's fine.
Bonnie's great. Love
No,
Bonnie.
Bonnie's wonderful. Yes, Bonnie's wonderful.
Bonnie's awesome.
So, and if she knew right now we were talking about her, she would be very, very embarrassed.
Oh no, Bonnie, so
She
love.
would.
You're
Her face
you're
would get all
culture
red.
famous. You're culture famous, Bonnie.
She is. Anyway,
So, yay, Bonnie.
yeah, Bonnie, go Bonnie.
Go, Bonnie, go.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got. So I'm gonna let Sandra
Okay.
give us some entertaining. What do you call it? Education. Give us education.
Yes, that is good.
Yeah.
Now put on your thinking caps, children. Put on your little, those little hats that you wear when you graduate.
Yeah, the graduation
Put-
hat with
put-
the tassel.
put that on.
Cap and tassel. All right, taking my
Yeah.
cold show hat off, hanging it
Put
up,
this
putting
one
Pulp
on.
on
Fiction
my,
off.
my cap
Yep.
and
Yeah,
tassel.
Pulp Fiction off. Yeah,
All
put
right.
that up to the side.
Cool.
So
Ready to
this
go.
was so this was my No, we're not graduating yet. That's going to come at the end. You will matriculate at the end of the episode. So this was my pick because I like to throw a grenade into a situation and just see what happens. I like to be a bit of a Satan and just see what develops. It's fun for me. And if you recall, I was hoping to see some people cry today. I wanted to drink tears.
Yeah, not just cry, collect tears, drink
Yeah,
them, keep them
drink
in a vial. Yeah.
Yes, all
Yeah.
of that. And in fact, if you're crying in the chat or watching this when it's not live, send me those tears instead of urine. That's my request. So I picked a very famous, infamous, polarizing film. Like literally people either love it or hate this film for the most part, which would be Pascal Longer's Martyrs. And that is one of those names. Longer. I'm sorry if that's wrong. Normally I work really hard on my French pronunciation, but my tongue just won't make that shape. I don't know. And for those who remember too, we have a chameleon whose name is Pascal. So
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, you named a lizard after me?" And I was like, "No, I actually named it after the lizard in Tangled." But I mean, that's cool that y'all share that name. That's great. I love that. So to talk a little bit about Martyrs, I first wanted to talk about the subgenre of horror of film that is this movie. So this is considered, and I'm sorry for those of y'all that know this, but for those who don't know this, you might learn something. I don't know. So this is considered new French extremity, new French horror, new wave French cinema. People get very particular about which one you use. So we're just going to keep it pretty free flowing and open, not ready to die on the hill of what new French extremity is exactly defined as. I would recommend that you read the book, Films of the New French Extremity by Alex West. It's a fabulous book. I am a fan of the new French extremity, my dear self. It does not have to be horror, but it is generally horror. So these are films that depict a lot of violence, a lot of body horror. They are still French art house. They are psychological. They are generally just very brutal and very transgressive. So that's kind of what they all have in common. Often sexual, not always. Always violent. A lot of times people lump it in with what you would call the American torture prawn. We're going to call it torture prawn today. It is not, though. I mean, it's arguable, it's semantics, but it's technically considered a different subgenre. But a lot of times those things get stirred together in a little stew, in a little nice gumbo. Some films that you may have heard of, and again, like these are just some that I jotted down that are often described as new French extremity, new wave French horror, French extreme, that some people will be like, no, that one is, no, this one isn't, and what about like I said, people get real particular about this. I'm not ready to die on that hill. I just want to talk to you about it. Trouble Every Day, High Tension, Raw, Livid, Shaitan, Them, 29 Palms, Frontiers, Irreversible, In My Skin, Revenge, Inside, Man Bites Dog, and of course, Martyrs. So those are the ones you'll hear a lot. Gets kind of confusing, like Gaspar Noé is often considered part of it too, even though he's lives in France, but he's not French. See, it gets very like, how particular do we want to get here, people? But that's just kind of a little base education for you. So Pascal is an interesting character. He has not done a lot of things that I've seen. The other film that he's done is Incident in a Ghost Land, which I enjoy. I think it's pretty fun. And The Tall Man, which I fell asleep during. So I don't know exactly if it's always going to be a love affair between he and I. But I fall on the side of loving this movie. I take a lot away from it. And I think it's a really important part of horror history and horror cinema to talk about. But I totally get that for a lot of people, this is too extreme, this is too much, and it makes them sad. So basically, Pascal wrote this film. He wrote and directed it, Martyrs. It's a story of Anna and Lucy. The two meet as children in an orphanage where Lucy arrives after having been tortured and managed to escape her captors. She is extremely psychologically damaged by the situation. Now, as adults, the two women are in love. Lucy goes to get revenge on the people who tormented her, and then things get real crazy. Shit just gets real.
Yes, it does.
I love the silence. Just
yes, it does.
silence. Anyway. Talk to me, people.
Great job. Thank you, Sandra.
Talk to me.
Very good job.
Oh, I'm here for the education.
Excellent.
Always.
Good job. Good job. As always.
You can move your tassel
Let's
to the other side.
Okay.
You have matriculated from the Cold Show's School of Education tonight.
Yay. We are now new French Extremity graduates. Raising
what
the
everybody
roof.
wants to be.
Boy, where does one
begin?
start? Where does one start with this movie? That's the question.
Yeah.
It's really, a lot of people consider it 2 or 3 movies in one. He definitely made it to be kind of in sections that are very different from one another. So there's kind of that. There's also just kind of like, how did you feel? Did you need to think about this one for a few days? Are you still thinking about this one days later?
Yes. Definitely.
Talk to your Aunt Sandy.
I mean, since Wednesday, since we all watched it, I've, been thinking about it. I've probably been dreaming about it.
I feel like somebody just had an idea that was like,
I know, right?
Idea sound.
But I don't know if everyone else heard that or if that was just us. Anyway.
Group delusion.
All right. So here goes. This is a beautifully made movie. And I'm going to say that I actually, I liked it in a weird sort of way, but I can't recommend that anyone ever watches this movie.
You're more on that side. You're more on that. You're more on the pro.
I'm kind of glad I saw it. I will never, ever, ever watch it again. And I can't recommend anyone else seeing it, but I did walk away from it going like, huh, that's pretty.
I'm thinking.
That's thought provoking. That's yeah.
Pascal just took his like little director and writer stick and like poke you in your gray matter. Like, what you got in there? What do you think, Caleb?
So yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, don't watch it. It's great.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I don't. Yeah.
That was just, Scott. That's the credits at the end for the end of the show. if you're thinking,
a lot
don't
of
watch it.
A lot of
It's great.
film fans, especially horror fans, have seen it. but that because it came out in 2008, so it's been a minute now. There's also a
Right.
god awful American remake that I could not finish. I was like, why would you? Why would you? Why would you? Why would you? On so many levels. Next.
Yeah.
How about you, Neil? What's your just immediates?
Yeah, God, I think I'm gonna be on the fence, and I'm not gonna fall on either
Boo.
side. No, I'm just because I
Take a
don't.
stand.
I honestly I didn't I didn't hate it at all. I didn't hate it at all. And I feel bad that I don't feel like it was like crazy extreme. Like maybe it's because I heard so much
Wow,
about
Neil.
it, and I knew so much about it already. Maybe that had me ready for anything. So I'm like teetering, like you know what I mean on the thing there. It's extreme. It's incredibly depressing. There's nothing happy about it. Nothing is going to redeem you at the end and make you feel like, oh, I'm glad I sat through that whole thing because that was a really good payoff. It's just kind of like you make it through and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to stay in the funk that I'm in because of this movie kind of thing. But that being
Neil's
said,
got the funk. Neil's got the funk.
So that being said, it was beautifully made. It was incredibly well crafted, very well produced. I like the editing. I meant quite a bit. There were some shots, there's some editing done in there that I thought was really well edited. The special effects, of course, the makeup effects were top notch.
Yeah.
Everything about it was well done. I loved like sitting next to Scott and Caleb, and towards the beginning, especially with the shriveled thing that Lucy was seeing, and they kept like, oh no, or no thank you, no thank you,
Jesus,
kind of stuff, like where and that's like I think, and then you and I were on the other side, Sandra, where I was like, okay, good, I like this, is great, it's creepy and it's weird and it's I like this kind of stuff, and so honestly, I'm like I'm on the fence. Like I would say, you want to watch it, watch it. You don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But I wouldn't tell you not to watch it. So I'm literally like, I'm right there, perfectly balanced, right on that fence.
I think it's really funny, and a lot of people are going to think you're a sociopath, Neil, for saying you weren't that affected by it. Like you didn't think it was that extreme.
Yeah, I mean,
I think a lot of people are expecting me to say something like that, and then you just said it, and now I think you're on an FBI watch list. So there's kind of that.
I think, and this is Mark Vision's Truth and Hungry made comments in something earlier this week that said, I wonder how much Cannibal Holocaust is going to come up. And I feel like if you can sit through Cannibal Holocaust, you can sit through anything. Or like you and I, Sandra, had the little conversation that I've seen Faces of Death many, many times. I watched it over and over as a demented child. And then I've seen Cannibal Holocaust, which I don't like, because of the obvious reasons we discussed. But if you can sit through that, something that's not real, you know what I mean? It's just a story, and it's makeup, and it's good acting, and it's good cinematography.
Right.
But
this is not ripped from the headlines. This is not something that really happened either. I mean, I know things like this do really happen to people,
right?
But it's not like that. Yeah, I agree. And as somebody who has watched not Faces of Death, but I have grown up watching some fucked up shit on the internet. I mean, probably worse than Faces of Death.
Well, probably then if you have,
if you've grown up in the era of chat roulette and live leak and rotten.com, rest in peace Rotten, that's no longer with us. Like you see a lot of that
You've
stuff.
seen some things.
I've seen some shit, man. Seen some shit in my life. But I agree. So in a way, it kind of doesn't quote unquote affect me as much either, because it's different. And I mean, Cannibal Holocaust, it's an apples to oranges situation. It's both very, very different movies. What they both have in common is that there's gore and violence. I mean, yeah, they do have things in common, but they're wildly different. I mean, for one thing, in Martyrs, there's no wild animals that actually get killed. And by the way, and if you've forgotten, Aunt Sandy's gonna remind you again, if you're upset by Cannibal Holocaust because of the way the animals are treated, you should be a vegetarian like me. Anyway, I digress. Let me get off my soapbox. And then I'm back on it again. But yeah, so that's That's fair. That's fair. A lot of people, before this movie became so famous, they watched it and they thought that it was a different thing because it does start out with that kind of creature vibe,
Right.
and you fairly quickly, for most people, figure out that it's not real. Right. It's
Yes.
something in her mind. And you're kind of, Anna is kind of in the, our proxy as the audience to be like, oh, well, maybe this happened to her. Maybe this didn't happen to her. Maybe she kind of is misremembering something. She doesn't really believe her, though. I mean, she knows something happened. But I mean, for what Lucy would describe, I'm sure it's for most people too extreme to be believed if someone told them that this happened to them,
Yeah.
kind of the fog of trauma or whatever. So we have that, and of course, all this lovely little suburban, very upper class, I should say, French family having brekkie. Mom's out back working on the railroad back there with their little hammer. Very adorable French toolbox. Very Provençal, the whole thing. It's lovely. And then, Lucy comes in with the shotgun, blows everybody away. Especially, I mean, I think she was gonna kill the kids regardless. Probably did not have witnesses, but it's
Right.
it's very poignant. She asks the boy, "How old are you?" He's 18, and she disappeared. Was it 15 years ago? So, and I mean, the thing is, yeah, and the thing is too is, I think those kids knew. I don't think they knew the full extent because I think you have to kind of be accepted into the cult. This is just my headcanon, but I think it would be impossible for them to not know, right? So I think that they're just guilty by association, and all of this people got off way too easily with mere gunshots. Mom got it a little rougher,
A little bit. She got a little. She got a
But
little
she,
Leatherface hammer to the head.
But yeah,
yeah, and then
I don't know. I got to say that scene was set up brilliantly though, because I mean, they
Yes.
introduce the family, they give them all like pretty much a little bit of background. So you
Oh,
think,
sure.
I mean, your guard is down because, you think they're being introduced as like important characters to the plot. And,
Right, yeah.
just the way the dad opens the door, and then Lucy's just standing there with a shotty, just boom, just,
And you know what
you,
too
you
is
are just
like,
not expecting that at all.
and the hubris of these people that they've gotten away with this for so many years and never kind of had this happen. I think that's kind of telling. Like, I mean, this family, they're kind of the caretakers of the estate, and it's like the audacity of this cult that they would just be like, it's fine. Like, we're rich, we're white, we have a lot of money, throw money at problems, probably make stuff go away, takes people society won't miss. And it's,
Right.
like it's telling in some ways, right? Like who these people are. And that was, I think, I don't want to totally jump ahead, but towards the end, Caleb even said something like, "These people are very white," or something, like when they're all like emerging out of the cars. It's all these like geriatric white French people with like really expensive foreign cars.
Yeah.
I think I actually said like, goddamn rich white people or rich
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
white people or
I think
something.
we
Yeah.
were all shaking our heads.
But-
We're like, hate them. Hate them.
Yes.
Yep. Surprising
man.
no one that's who's behind this debacle.
Right. So I almost think of them as sisters, even though I know they're not, obviously not
Well, right, because they're like girlfriends.
by
but-
blood, but they grew up together once they were in the orphanage.
Right.
Right.
So I'm probably going to refer to them as sisters several times, and I know
But
they're
they
not.
are girlfriends.
technically.
Not, this isn't that.
Oh,
film.
were they?
Yes.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I know
I
that the
even
one. I know that
sure, I
Anna tried
even
to.
I even said in my wrap up, they're in love.
Oh, okay. Well,
I said that.
all right.
Yeah.
That's probably in the chat again, probably typing to the people. So,
To the people. But anyway,
but,
the girls, the
okay.
ladies, the women, the Anna and the Lucy.
yeah, is that something that was? I mean, where did you get that in the context of the movie that they were in love?
Well, Anna kisses Lucy.
Right, and then Lucy kind of like is like, no,
Yeah,
So,
but I think it's not because she's not interested. I think it's because of the
so you don't know.
situation.
As that point, as
Yeah.
viewers, we don't know why she was.
We don't know exactly why, but I mean, it is generally suspected by people is that they have fallen in love with each other. And kind of like when Anna's on the phone with her mom, she's like, you just follow that girl everywhere, and blah blah blah. It's kind of indicates more of a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, most people who watch the film surmise that they're in a relationship.
Okay. I
right.
see. I didn't take it that they were in a relationship. I took it that Anna definitely had feelings for Lucy.
Right.
And I also just sort of felt like each woman had no one else. They only had each other,
Well, that's definitely true.
Yeah. And so during this extreme situation, Anna sort of like, this is how I took it, was that Anna was taking her shot, and it was like the wrong time to do that. So,
Right.
Not the time to shoot your shot, Anna.
That's what I was thinking too.
I think that's why maybe that's also another reason why people do assume they're in a relationship, is because that'd be weird if she was shooting her shot. But I imagine too that Lucy
no
is
more weirder than the rest of this movie.
true. And poor Lucy, I think she's so damaged that she can't really be in a relationship,
Right.
Poor thing. I mean, she's been tormented by this monkey on her back, this demon, this haunting thing. And besides, what happened to her is the fact that she left somebody behind, and what that does to somebody. And you do hear those harrowing tales in real life of people who had to leave somebody behind, and or escape a situation, and the torment that would cause one. I think that's an interesting theme that I don't think is explored enough in films and books, of that kind of survivor's guilt, because I think there's a lot of good stuff there, character stuff. Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah. So it's so for those of you at home listening or watching, it's basically she's seeing the visions of this woman that was still chained up in the same situation that Lucy was in when she was young. But do you think that in her visions of this person, they became more emaciated with issues, or is that what she looked like then? I couldn't really tell.
I think it's hard to tell. Like, I mean, it's we know the lengths they go to in this cult.
Right.
So I mean, it's very possible that is exactly what she looked like. And probably broken joints and broken bones and emaciated and everything else. But I mean, it's also possible that she conflates it in her head too.
Yes. It was a very, when it was meant to be creepy, it was creepy because it was chasing her in the beginning of the film. And
yes,
so it was a good kind of like, nice little creepy, supernatural-ish tone at the very beginning, I guess.
A little bit of a red herring. Yeah,
pretty much.
Like where we're going with this. And
exactly.
The first kind of hint that we get, and we'll talk about it more at the end, the final chapter, that there's a lot of ambiguity and interpretation to the events that we're seeing. Then there's kind of the middle chapter there where Anna shows up and she's trying to dispose of bodies, kind of trying to help the mom, because I think not only because she's a good person, and she's Anna obviously has this major caregiver complex and wants to rescue things and help things, and help people and heal them. But I think that's also, and I could be wrong, but I think to me that was indicative of that she didn't totally believe Lucy. Like, she had her doubts if these were even the right people. Because she's like, how can you remember 15 years ago? Like she says that. But she was right. You should have believed her.
You should have, I guess, maybe looked after her a little more, perhaps. But
Lucy is an unreliable narrator, though, so I guess I can't totally blame her. She's kind of like, she also thinks something's been stalking us her entire life. So, but those are really interesting scenes there in the house of the interactions between the two. A lot of tension like in those scenes. It's because things are kind of building towards something, and again, the first time you watch it, you're like, "Where is this going?" Is not like in a bad way, but like, are people going to come home? Are they going to get caught? Like, where do we go from this house?
Right.
Yeah. And I think I brought up a number of times, like, why are they still there? Why are they still there? I like,
Right.
like it was making
yeah.
me feel uncomfortable.
Right. Like, get in the car. Get in the
Because
car.
like, you're,
Yeah.
you don't stick around at the scene of the crime. You get the hell out of there. Leave.
Right. I think there was a naivety to that, especially from Anna, because I think she's like, oh, we're in this big place out in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure it's safe enough, because she also didn't really think that this house is the murder cult chamber of death that it is. And then she also is like, well, we'll just take our time. And Lucy's got to like kind of collect herself a little bit. And, it just kind of shows her, I don't want to say her lack of urgency, because she was kind of hustling around that house, getting those bodies out in the ditch. But her lack of like consequences, like
Yeah.
well,
I think
Lucy
was also feeling a little maybe relieved, because she thought she was ending the curse or the haunting, or whatever you want to call that.
That's why she did it.
Right. So she thinks she's like in the clear, and then you discover that she's not.
Not at all. Right. And she's kind of like, she's trying to like placate the demon, if you will. I don't know what else to call it, the figment, to be like, look, I did it. I even killed the kids. Like, I did it. I did the thing. And but I mean, she doesn't even fully believe it herself, obviously, because she ends up taking her own life.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of shocking.
And then again, after she takes her own life, Anna needs to leave. She needs to get the fuck out of that house.
She calls her mom.
Why she should stay. She spends the night there. She calls her mom the next morning.
She calls her mean, abusive mom.
Right, who she hasn't talked to in 2 years, I think the dialogue says, and
yeah,
and then
because her mom doesn't approve, of her life and her lifestyle, and but I mean, there's the obviously, to move the plot along, she does stay, because that's how she finds the secret passageway to Narnia beneath the the stereo or whatever. Spoiler alert, not Narnia. James McAvoy is not there in a little red scarf, being super adorable. There's no Jesus lion.
No, she doesn't go through a closet. There's no wardrobe for her to get through.
No, instead she finds a literally blown up art size like glissé prints or something of like the cult's handiwork over time. And of course, Mademoiselle breaks it down for her. Oh, this is when we did this. Like, she's showing her like a friggin' slideshow of the vacation, like, look at the eyes, and it's like, oh my god. So you pretty much find out really quickly there is a cult. These people are not fucking around, Anna, and you don't want to be there, and they're also explaining everything to you, which is a really bad sign, because that means they do not intend to let you go. And we also, I mean, you kind of have to, if you watch this movie with people, break the tension a little bit. And I like to point out the chair with the hole in the bucket underneath. Anytime you're in a movie and there's that chair with the bucket, it's bad news.
Yeah.
Bad. You're not going anywhere for a while.
That's when you should leave the house. When you see the chair at the bucket, you should leave the house.
Yeah.
Or even without the bucket. Remember in the James Bond movie with Daniel Craig, the guy who swings the thing and hits his junk?
Yep.
That was.
I sure do. Casino Royale.
That was Casino Royale. I mean, anytime there's a chair with a hole,
it's just bad.
It's bad.
Get out, But unfortunately, Anna, when she first goes down there, she discovers that they have another young woman down there already.
She's got to take care of them, because that's how Anna is.
And again, her caregiver complex kicks in, and she has to bring this person back up to the ground floor. She has to give this person a bath. Yep. She does not at any point call the authorities.
Nope. I think, you know what? Well, I mean, I don't know what she could be thinking, what would be going through her head, but she's probably like, can't call the cops because then I'm going to get in trouble, right? Because there's all these like dead bodies that I helped hide, and my friend who said she was going to kill people and she did, and but
Well, I mean, she
it just is
Yeah.
a domino effect of like
Nah,
bad
you still
decisions.
just call the number and then leave, like that woman
Call
wasn't going anywhere.
999.
I mean, first of all, she had like a metal face mask over her eyes and then like another metal ridge
Oh, that
bolted
thing.
into her head. Which, by the way, if they're looking to, their whole goal is to have these people, these women, like become martyrs, where their eyes roll in the back of their head and they see the afterlife or whatever. Why would you put a metal plate over someone so you can't see their eyes?
Well, because remember, there has to be a whole process that takes over body and mind. So maybe, because I've thought about this a lot. So I think
I can tell.
because just after watching this movie a couple of times over so many years, it sticks with you. I think that they were like, they kind of would have like a little committee, and they'd be like, how do we want to try the next one? Like, how do we want to do this? And they'd kind of like make their decisions. And they probably were like, well, we've never tried one where we kept them in darkness with that
Okay.
and then taken it off later.
So that was like step 5 of a 10-step process.
Yeah, I don't even remember what number that girl is. We don't know exactly, but they've gone through so many
I think it's
iterations.
been a lot.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they just put up the pictures of their favorite, but Mademoiselle has this whole like creepy flip book of of all the cases that they've done.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my opinion. And I mean, oh god, with the thing over the eyes, and then she has like kind of like a metal diaper thing on too. It's so gross, and it's so like you just look at it and you're like, oh Jesus, that's really bad. All of the makeup.
And then
in
when
this
she
movie,
starts prying the bolts out of her head with the screwdriver,
we were just like yelling. We're like, maybe don't touch it. Maybe don't touch it. And we were also kind of, again, trying to make light of the situation with that. And then also like just drawing her a bath. It just felt very European. Like, let me just comfort you. We can't go to the cops. We can't go to the hospital. I'll draw you a bath. Perfect.
Right. Which
Put
must
on
have
some
felt
tea.
wonderful on all of those cuts all over her body, by the way.
Oh my gosh. I imagine it feels like when you have paper cuts and you use hand sanitizer, but I can't confirm that.
No, yeah, fact.
Yeah.
Science. No, you're good.
Yeah.
I just spit. Spit tape.
Blech. Spit tape. All of the makeup in this movie, we kind of talked about it. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. It's so effective. And we all love practical effects, and especially makeup effects here at the Cult Show. I would be pressed to find better makeup, especially like when Anna gets skinned. Like what is better than that, as far as not like a creature or something, from the imagination, but something based on actual human anatomy. Like that's effective. It looks
That was
real.
pretty cool. So for those of you that have not seen it, Anna, who has already been beaten and force-fed, and she gets taken into a room, put on sort of a metal contraption, and all of her skin is peeled off except for around her face. So it's just like
she is flayed.
Yeah.
I believe we call that being flayed in the biz.
But it looks really real. Like
it's
really
sticky.
Real.
It looks sticky. Like there's a lot of plasma. There's a lot of goo. It is so effective. So that's a pretty important part of the film. That's where a lot of people kind of tap out and say, I'm out with this film, is the horrific torture that Anna goes through. It's unrelenting. It's unkind. It is not pleasant to watch by any means.
And it goes on. I mean, I didn't time it, but I mean, how long is that? Like 20 minutes of just her being beaten and tortured? And
well, yeah, and it's like every instance is like a new day. So it's like you really kind of you feel yourself in her shoes a little bit, because it's just like what's going to happen each day of how awful and this just repeating hell that's going to happen to you. Obviously very effective, which was his intent with that.
Yeah.
And we're also starting to see at this point glimpses of the cult, which kind of, well, I mean, not kind of, the cult is my favorite part of this film. I love cults. Not like being in them, but just like watching movies about them. It's like my favorite subgenre of horror film is cults. We are cultists here at the Cult Show. Cults, anybody?
The cult
Yeah.
of cult.
Yeah. And you kind of see like that these people have their really fucked up ideology and they believe it very much, which is, like I said, kind of my favorite part. Also, I think kind of the most poignant part of the movie is kind of these lengths that people will go through, a group of people, an ideology, a religion, or whatever, to they feel so justified, they feel so righteous, righteously inclined to carry out their mission and their work, despite what it does to other people, despite what it's doing morally. They feel like they are so special. They feel so like they have the right to do this, and in this really really fucked up way, these women that they do this to, these females of all ages, these are their martyrs, these are their holy people, and they treat them horribly. But it's because they have this really twisted love and reverence for them. I find it very fascinating. Like, just thinking about the cult kind of sends me spiraling down a rabbit hole, clearly, of like, how like, obviously, like they got to this point, and but cults and people believe crazier shit.
True. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm just a little unclear of what it was. I mean, I know what they were trying to do. They want to see if they can get this person to sort of transcend and sort of like bridge this
Yes.
world with an afterlife. But
Right. What do you see? To witness, which is what they say at the end, a martyr, to witness.
right,
Yeah.
is what a martyr is. But I mean, it just kind of makes me think like, okay, so let's say there is an afterlife
Mhm.
and you don't have to be a good person to get there when you die. So then this whole cult is only inflicting pain and suffering, and it's meaningless because everybody goes there eventually. Right? Does that make sense? But
I mean, yeah.
if there is an afterlife, but you have to like follow rules, religion, they're
Mhm.
kind of breaking all the rules trying to see it, and then therefore they wouldn't go.
Well, I think you're kind of casting the cult in a little bit of a Judeo-Christian light when that's not necessarily the point they're coming from, because they could believe in any sort of like what they see, some sort of reincarnation, or maybe you jump on a fucking unicorn and like I mean, like maybe you ascend to another planet. Like they might not be thinking of it as like a heaven hell capacity. I think they're thinking of it very broadly, like they just want to know if there's anything coming,
Right.
like after. Is kind of my interpretation.
Yeah, I guess
of
I
it.
just like that. I mean, I don't know. To me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get that, but like their method doesn't justify the means, I guess is what I'm.
Well, that's cults for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
They have
obviously.
weird ideologies, right? Neil, you were saying, darling, you were saying.
Yes, I was trying to get in there, squeak in about. I mean, the fact that they were all elderly people. I mean, to me, makes it clear that they were all looking for what's on the other side. What can they willing to pay any price? Obviously, not about for anyone.
Right.
A pound of flesh to figure
A
out
pound of flesh.
what is on the other side, so they can feel better about when they make that transition, which is, of course, what
Right.
Mademoiselle does once she finally gets whispered to by Anna about what's out there. And then she's like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Kablam! And,
Oh well, hold on. We're gonna come back to that.
but I'm not
Hold
done.
on.
Let me real
Yeah.
quick, if I
Yeah.
can, before
Okay.
I'm gonna forget otherwise.
Uh-oh.
The filleting of Anna is somewhat reminiscent. I think you could tie it to Hellraiser, Uncle Frank in the first
Totally.
one, and
Yeah.
Julia in the second one when she comes back from the mattress. It's a similar thing like that.
Yeah.
Like I say, except that she had her face left, which makes it creepier when just the
Yeah.
skin of your face,
Way
you know,
creepier.
is left on versus the whole body being, but it's had the same, like the veins and all definitely very wet and
Yeah.
juicy kind of thing going on.
Musculature and ugh.
Yeah. And then what I wanted to say about the film in general, this stuff with Anna, the torture that she was going through, for me, that was the most brutal part of the movie, was not the effects, but was mainly when the man kept coming in and just punching her and beating her, and like to a point where he would like knock her unconscious and then let her fall, and as she's on the way down he would punch her again as she's on, you know, falling down. And that was the worst for me, was just the brutality of this man that's kept, you know, a big guy, just kept like beating the crap out of her day after day after day kind of thing. And it was
Right.
you know, that was the worst part, because they kept showing it, you know,
Right.
day and
Yeah.
the next day and the next day. So, but
100%. And there's something interesting going on with, you know, we know it was the woman and the husband and the kids that were kind of the caretakers, and then these people kind of get promoted to it, this guy and his wife, to be the caretakers and the torturers of the next martyr. Kind of weird. I'm sure that's a position of high honor in their cult. I'm
Right.
sure it's like, like one of like the biggest things you can do. And to see that brutality mixed with the tenderness and the reverence they have for Anna after she dies, and well, she martyrs and then she dies, is like really disturbing. It kind of like makes your skin crawl, because you're just like, they just felt so justified in this, that they were like, they're acting like, oh, she's so lucky, like, you know, oh, we're so thankful for our sweet precious Anna. And it's like, you have a real messed up way of showing it, people. Real not okay. So we should talk about the end, and that's why I said we'll come back to that, is the end is very interpretive. The end is wildly interpretive, very ambiguous, as to what Anna says,
right.
and if she is telling the truth, if she's lying, if she, and how Mademoiselle takes that, and why she decides to very deliberately kill herself at the end. So it could be, I mean, it's so many different ways. Like it could be, I kind of always liked it as the way that Anna kind of complied, did what they wanted to do, because they explained it to her. Like and she has the conversations with Lucy in her head about letting go and, just kind of retreating into her mind, basically. I always like to interpret it as that she lied to Mademoiselle in some capacity. She just wanted to kind of fuck her up a little, like one last kind of time. And she could have said, there's nothing, so that, to kind of foil them. She could have said, oh, it's so great, when there wasn't anything, again, to foil her. She could have told her, it's awesome, get over here, sister. I mean, like, there's so many things she could have said. And I like ambiguity and stuff, but I personally find it very satisfying that we don't know for sure, and that Mademoiselle's last words are keep doubting. I don't think I would have been satisfied hearing the words from Anna.
Yeah. No,
Personally.
Yeah. Like, I'm wondering if her words are really all that important. It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not part of what this movie is about. So.
What do you mean?
I just mean, whatever she says is just not really that important to the plot.
You don't think so? I think it's incredibly important.
No, I don't.
Oh, I mean,
how could you? how could I mean, I guess the director could just make something up and say like, oh yeah, she's like you said, we're all riding unicorns, or
Right, yeah.
but
Anything that they
um
would have given her to actually verbalize wouldn't have been satisfying.
yeah, no,
It's much better
exactly, and that's
left
why
in
I'm
your
saying
head.
it's just, yeah, like leave it alone, and just leave it ambiguous
Oh, I
and
see.
move
You
on.
mean the actual literal words aren't important to the plot. I
Yeah.
thought you meant that scene. I'm like,
No, 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 no. The plot
Kayla.
is extremely important. No, no, her words are not important to the plot.
I'm like, that Beetlejuice juice is going straight to your head.
Well, yes, that too, but
It's like Scarlett Johansson whispering to Bill Murray. You don't know what she said,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
that kind of feeling with it. Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
like that scene with Mademoiselle where she's like takes off her headscarf and removes her.
Yes.
Did she have a wig on? I can't
She
remember now.
had a piece.
A little piece, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like
Eyelashes.
takes her fake
Eyelashes.
falsies off and takes her
Yeah.
makeup off, and like
Yeah.
she like basically disrobes, like
Right.
her costume, before like putting a gun in her mouth. But
Yeah.
I just like the way that was done. It was, again, it's a very well filmed movie, and I like that about it.
There's something poignant and significant to it. Either like she's saying she wants to be like pure, or she's, like you said, she's taking off the guise.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I guess it's how you interpret the ending is how you would interpret what she's doing there. But yeah.
Pismo Mark is bringing up about the age-old debate, he says, about what is right or wrong to people, basically. What might be right for some people is wrong for others. So
Totally.
there's a baseline that, who establishes that baseline of what's considered right or wrong.
Yes.
He says it's the age-old debate.
Oh, yes.
So,
The question of morality in society is very fascinating. And
well, you
what
could almost
morals.
even it's like they're seeking knowledge, but there's like this ethics problem as well, so it's like not knowledge versus ethics, and they're obviously like, nope, we're going all in on the knowledge.
It's
Fuck
like
ethics.
Jurassic Park. It's like Jurassic Park. Like, just because you could doesn't mean that you should.
That's right. Can I read you
This
what
movie is basically Jurassic Park. Yes, go ahead.
how Scott feels about it?
Producer Scott?
Producer Scott?
I know him.
No, you do know him, but can I read to the people? To the people what Producer Scott?
I know him.
How he feels. He says, more than torture porn, Martyrs
Martyrs.
contains context and messaging that doesn't always exist in the genre. While masterfully executed, the film seems to relish in an unrelenting emotional state of hopelessness and inevitability that culminates in its main character ultimately accepting her fate. It's only when she gives up agency that she finds peace and understanding, which left me deeply disturbed and psychologically scarred. So
scarred is that's
scarred,
pretty heavy words, my dude.
But very well said, though. Very well written.
Very well said. Of course, and everybody's going to bring their own baggage to any film, and an interpretation and life experience. I've told him this. I disagreed that it's hopeless because of the way I interpret the end as kind of Anna, kind of getting the last laugh, essentially. But it is definitely a movie about pain and suffering, and that's exactly what Pascal has said. It is.
And every kind of pain and suffering.
Yes.
I mean, emotional, physical. I mean, every kind of pain.
Next time you get a sunburn, you will feel like Anna. When you just can feel it, right? You're just like when you're like that raw nerve feeling. It's like when you hit your elbow. It's like that over your whole body. Yes, I imagine.
Sure. Exactly. Like you said, when you use a little bit of the what do you call it? The sanitizer on your paper cut. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you guys watched this movie with me. Like I said, I get a lot out of it, and I think it's I think it's an important part of the horror lexicon myself to take in, though I realize it's not for everybody. And let's say this at the end, massive trigger warnings for just about everything. Except for I don't think there's any sexual assault.
No, I mean, surprisingly, like,
Yeah.
I mean, God,
Nope.
like,
It would have been easy to go there, and I'm proud
it
he
would have
didn't.
been. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pascal. Thanks
Yeah.
for and it was and maybe that was because that's something the cult like found morally reprehensible. Hilariously, you know, they'd be like, we would
that
never.
was like the one ethics that they
Yeah, that they were like,
they're
oh,
not-
we couldn't.
They're not there to, you know, well, I'm saying demoralize is the wrong word. They're not there to, like, you
Dehumanize?
know, yes, I guess that's a better word for it. They're not trying to dehumanize. I can't even say the word now. My whiskey's gone, just so you guys know. I finished it, so that's
And
my
there's
problem.
Jake in the background.
And there's
growling
Jake.
about
I mean,
it.
they're not trying to like make, you know, yeah. I think they're not. That wasn't their goal. Their goal is to break them down to the point where they can martyr, but not to take away their, I don't know, their human decency, dignity. I can't even talk anymore. Never mind.
I mean, it's not.
I pass.
It's not unlike what we do at the Cult Show, where we take our audience and we berate them and we break them down till they're nubbins, till they're just raw nerves, and then we say, "We love you."
Right. And then we pour some hydrogen peroxide on it and say,
Thank
it'll
you for-
get better. It
Thanks
won't
for your-
infect.
Get in the bathtub. Thank you for your blood sacrifice.
Kelly says pain with a side of existentialism.
That's
So,
right.
there you go.
Good. Existentialism, nihilism, all the isms, man.
Yeah. So I
Everyism.
read a few things that said Pascal, how'd you say his last name again, Sandra?
Oh God.
Laugier. Laugier.
No,
All right.
yeah.
So
Laugier.
he said this
Laugier?
was inspired by Hostel, but where Hostel was about suffering, Martyrs was about pain. So
I've
I'm
heard
not
that
really
too.
sure like where the difference is there, but just thought I would pass that along.
I've heard that too, and I to be honest, I've not heard that from the source, but I've heard that like quote bandied about the internet.
Right.
So yeah,
These are all things that I do not have any sort of backup on, but I'm going to pass them off anyway.
pass them off as fact.
No, I'm saying I have no backup for this whatsoever, so do what you will with it. He wrote this during a state of clinical depression bordering on suicidal thought, hence the nihilistic and depressing subject matter.
Now that I believe.
Kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. Jake says, "Oh, let me get in on this."
Yeah. Time to cause trouble.
Both actresses have stated that they would never work with Pascal again.
I know that he has said that it. I mean, he had to put them through so much, so that
And
might be
that's my next note.
yeah, that might be a mutually agreed upon term. He's like, I don't want to do that to you. You don't want to do this, so we're good.
He said that the hardest problem was to keep both actresses crying the entire time. When you think about it, like for the majority of the film, they are in like an extreme state of duress, you know, and that's that light, Neil.
Yes, that's called a cat.
Your cat's perfect. I blame you. No, like that would be, but that would be hard to keep up that energy all the time. You know, that's not something you can just like turn off and turn on. So I'm kind of wondering what he had to do to them to like get them to those points.
Right, long hour. I mean, like it's so hard to say. And then there's also like, you know, film sets are. It's a lot. I mean, the actors obviously channel a lot, but then there's also, you know, the camera guy eating a bagel and the craft services table over here. And like, you know, like, I mean, it's kind of like when Neil and I were talking about how, but it's not real, you know, is there is a little bit of like, you have to wonder what the energy was like on the set. Like, how do you kind of keep that vibe going, or don't you? I don't know. I
Right.
don't know if they were cracking wise.
Well, I know they weren't eating bagels because it was France, so they were eating croissants. So that's
Oh,
probably
I like
one.
a nice flaky croissant.
Yeah, so it
Croissant.
was a happy
Yeah.
set. Happy
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Happy set.
Well, I mean, I will say that the two actresses did an amazing job. I really felt
So
that
good.
their acting was impeccable. So
Masterclass.
Yeah.
Masterclass level of acting. I agree.
Absolutely. So hey, should we
So,
lighten
hey.
it up a little bit?
If you insist.
I insist. How about we come back to a little game of our good friend Alice, sweet Alice Cooper's Horror Box. Let's play.
Oh, why not?
Let's play
Yeah.
a little. Let's have a little fun.
Ooh.
Lighten it up.
I was having a great time.
I know you were, but you know, just do us a favor, Sandra. let's have what the normal folk would consider a fun time.
The normies, the rubes.
Okay, so I am going to ask the questions. You two are going to give your responses, and then Kayla wants to let the group try to weigh in, which there's a 10-second delay. So we'll do our best to somehow make this democratic.
Sure.
Shall
We'll
we say?
try.
We can.
We'll try.
You know, we can stretch it out. We can.
You're right. So for those who don't know, this is Alice Cooper's Horror Box, or like we said now, it's Sweet Alice Cooper's Horror Box. I'm going to ask
An
a
improved
question.
title.
Yes, and they're going to provide. They have cards basically, and they're going to pull their cards that best answer the question that I ask.
Okay.
Are you ready, Caleb
I'm
and
ready.
Sandra?
I'm ready.
Ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Speaking of happy questions, happy times, I know someone is about to be killed when they are.
My answer is vaping with Dracula.
Oh. I know someone is about to be killed when they are vaping with Dracula.
Vaping with Dracula. I'm going to go with asking too many questions about the girls in my freezer.
Oh, geez, yes. That
They're just in there.
could be an issue.
Might end poorly
I
for
mean,
you.
you know, if they're asking the questions, they got to go. That means
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
Sandra, say yours again. I know
They've seen too
someone's
many
about to be
things.
killed when they are.
Vaping with Dracula.
And Caleb?
asking too many questions about the girls in the freezer, in my freezer.
In your freezer. Okay.
Not just anybody's freezer.
Not just anybody's freezer, my freezer.
All right. So, chat, do you guys have a either way for you? Okay, well, we've got Mark Vision's Truth going with girls in freezer. LOL. That's one.
Lol.
Lol. See, Caleb, this is why we can't do it because it takes too long to get the
Oh,
responses
fine.
when we're on a delay.
Oh, fine. Be that way.
You know what? Just say how you feel. Just say how
Okay.
you feel in the chat. How do you feel?
Pismo Mark also says Caleb's. So we're going to go with girl in the freezer. Girls in the freezer.
I am doing a different tactic for this game. I am
Okay.
completely picking my card at random.
Random.
I'm not
pick.
looking at it. I'm just
Oh.
going to pick it.
You're doing that
All
one.
right.
All right. All right.
We'll see what happens. See where the
Okay.
chips fall.
All right. Question number 2. Welcome to hell. May I offer you?
My answer is underage drinking.
Nice. Welcome to
Um,
hell. May I offer you underage drinking?
Welcome to hell. May I offer you a vegan Nightmare Before Christmas?
A vegan? What does
Vegan
that
Nightmare
mean?
Before Christmas.
By the way, mine, my answer that I picked at random, it reminds me of Spooky Summer Party episode we did a couple episodes back with the Hell House, the
Yes.
Christian haunted houses, where they'd be like, "Here's some booze,
Oh, right, right,
teenagers,"
right.
and then they end up in hell. It's a little on the nose.
That is a little. You're right. That is a little on the. That is a little on there. All right. So we have welcome to hell. May I offer you some underage drinking? Or what was yours again, Caleb?
A vegan Nightmare Before
That's right,
Christmas.
A Vegan Nightmare Before Christmas. How could I have forgotten that one? All right. Well, I think you have to go with Sandra's. I think with the Hell House,
I mean, here's the thing. I'm playing for love of the game. I don't
Love of
even
the
care
game,
if I
baby.
win. I just
All
like
right.
I just like going random here. I'm
No,
going rogue.
we're gonna
Going
pull.
rogue.
We're gonna do a Sandra for the rest of the game. So
All
You're just
right.
gonna do randos.
it's just randos. But
Just randos.
Neil, you have to give me a number of 1 through 12,
Like
Oh
right
my God.
now?
and
What-
I will read it. Yeah,
What I'm
because I
doing-
numbered mine.
What I'm doing is I'm just like bloop 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 bloop.
okay.
Like over my
I actually
lands.
typed mine up and numbered them and put them in a Word document. And
Oh, very nice. Very
Jesus,
nice.
My, look at you.
Okay, Caleb, which ones
Smarty,
have you already
smarty.
read so I don't call on them?
I have done 8 and 11.
Okay. Caleb, you're going with number 3 next.
Okay.
Okay, question is, the Horror Hall of Fame includes Freddy Krueger, Jason, and...
Recommending a true crime podcast.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
funny. As somebody who listens to a fuck ton of true crime podcasts, anytime like somebody else finds out you're into true crime, they're like, oh, have you listened to? Oh, have you listened to? Oh, have you listened to? So it's like, I feel that on a personal level. And it's like, there's too many true crime podcasts.
There's a lot of them.
All right,
right,
what was it
Caleb.
again, Neil?
The Horror Hall of Fame includes Freddy Krueger, Jason, and...
My girlfriend asking, "Are you mad at me?"
Are you mad at me?
Okay.
You know, there's some boyfriends that ask that too often too.
I am just reading the card
I'm
that was
just
sent to me. All right. How about
saying.
my
Partner.
You're picking another one?
partner?
spouse.
asking-
My
No, I'm
spouse.
just saying. I'm just.
Oh,
rewording it for
spouse.
He's
Sandra.
ungendering
My
it.
Okay.
spouse, my
Okay.
significant other, my better
Right.
half asking, "Are you mad at me?"
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well,
My cat asking, "Are you mad at me?"
I think you both win that round.
Ooh,
All right,
then your
Sandra,
cat-
it's
your
tied.
Your cat like knocks something over. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? How about now? Are you mad at me?
Yeah. Well, looking
Right.
at you while he's doing it.
Yeah.
About chewing up your headphones.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The ghost in my house contacted me by...
I love ghosts. You did
yeah.
say I would like this one. And my answer is a magical adventure through the land of entrails.
Oh, nice.
That's actually a type of divination where you look at
That
entrails.
totally works.
Yeah. Good
Damn.
job, Ghost.
All right,
The old
Neil, give
entrails.
me a number.
Okay, you're going to go with number 12.
So
The ghost in my house contacted me by
saying, "I think he's gone."
saying, I think he's gone.
Oh my
All right.
God, that'd be the
That was
latest
my
ghost
number
ever.
12.
You'd be like, hello, did somebody just say something? I think he's gone. And they're talking about you. They're like, I think he's. It's like, I'm not gone. I'm right here.
It's kind of fucked up. They're like gaslighting you.
Or you could take the journey through the entrails. I don't know. I don't
So
know.
it's
However,
basic-
you got to get that ghost. Get
So
that
instead of the
ghost.
the ghost being like, get out. He's just going
Yeah.
like, I think he's gone.
Right.
That's
It's like,
right.
I'm not. They probably can't see the poor dears.
Yep.
Next.
All right. I learned about my family's questionable past when I was haunted by...
A lawnmower being started manually.
Oh,
That's like some lawnmower man vibes, yeah?
lawnmower being started manually.
It's a horrible sound. That's how the family was killing people.
Okay.
Lawnmower man.
Neil, give me
Yep.
a number.
Number 5.
Number 5, a goth teenager.
I learned about my family's questionable past when I was haunted by a goth teenager.
Could have been the ghost from the first question.
That might do it.
All right. I think you guys
It's
both
fun
got
to be
that one.
random. It's fun to be
Yeah.
random, man. I'm liking it. This is working for me. Next.
Okay, you know a death scene is coming whenever you hear the sound of
Knocking back some cold ones with the boys. That makes no sense.
no sense. This is when the lawnmower could have come in.
Knocking back some cold ones with the Colt Show. Hey.
That's when death is coming. All right, Caleb, number 1. You know death is seen as coming whenever you hear the sound of
crescendoing over dramatic music.
Very on the nose. Very on the nose. Yeah. That's like
so
some
weird.
that's like some unimaginative person's answer. And it's like, no, we didn't mean like literally, how do you know? Anyway, it's fine. Skip it. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Blank is scarier than any monster imaginable.
I gotta pick a rando. Could you read it again? I love this one.
Yes, blank is scarier than any monster imaginable.
Oh my god.
A ghost who really wants to sell me some knives.
It's scarier than any monster imaginable. That's probably true.
I mean, does he try to sell you illegal switchblades? Is he trying to sell you like some fancy like chef knives? What is this ghost doing?
Definitely some Tijuana contraband coming from that ghost. So there's no question.
Maybe he has all of it. He's like, you know what, this one? How about this one? This is you could do a real good job with this. And it's like, leave me the fuck alone. We have the most annoying ghosts in this conversation.
Hey Sandra, look at these knives. It slices. It dices. Look at that tomato. You can even cut a tin can with it.
Oh my god! And it's like those hustler people on the streets, and you're like, I just am trying to go to my bathroom. I'm just trying to go to my bathroom.
All right, Kayla, blank is scarier than any monster imaginable.
All right, you gonna give me a number?
Oh, 9.
Number 9. Creepy twins staring at me in a Waffle House bathroom stall.
Ugh.
God, that one's for you.
It's the Grady twins.
Waffle Houses.
Yeah.
But it's in why is it in a Waffle House?
That's the
restroom stall.
Come eat waffles with us, Danny.
It's not just a Waffle House. It's the bathroom stall in a Waffle House.
And they're just like covered in syrup, and they're just like anything they touch is sticky now. So then everything's just fucking sticky.
You'll have diarrhea forever and ever. Come chat with us, Danny.
You'll have chicken and waffles forever.
You'll have... Oh, that's funny.
And your cat is doing some like
he's
freaking parkour back there.
He is.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Jake, he must have got some of those chicken and waffles. So.
Oh shit! He just the lip is going over. Bet.
Oh fuck! I want to be in a Waffle House right now.
With Jake, I want to be in a Waffle House with Jake the cat.
Waffle House, man. I've driven by a few of those in my day, but I've never actually stopped and gone in. I always want to, but just never have.
I don't know if is that something like we don't.
No,
really
it's all been in the Midwest.
No,
yeah, we don't really have that. Yeah.
But...
I mean, I've been to IHOP.
Yeah, we've got Denny's, IHOP, but no.
I've been to a Sherry's Diner, a Carol's.
Yeah, not the same.
Nope. Waffle houses tend to be a little more, at least from what I've seen, where I've been, the places that I've been and seen them, which has been Mississippi, and Missouri, and Tennessee, I think, is where I've seen them, and in Florida, and they look like they've been used a lot.
Oh,
so lots of use in the Waffle houses.
Kind of truck stoppy vibes, a little maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But and again, I'm not saying anything bad. I've never been inside of one, but just driving by on the road, waving to the Waffle House.
You weren't tempted by the ghosts of the Waffle House. Got it.
It's always been like I've always been doing something else. You know what I mean? I wasn't like let's go pull over and get go get some food. It's
sure.
Anyway, one day I have been to a Cracker Barrel. I finally did one of those a few years ago.
Oh yeah, Cracker Barrel. I just love the name
Yep.
because I don't
Okay.
understand it.
How about one more?
Please.
Let's close it out. Okay. Okay. Here's another one. A person's death only turns into a ghost if they die by.
Watching every Puppet Master movie in one sitting.
Yeah.
That's very specific.
That would do it. That would do it.
I enjoy me some Puppet Master. That's a childhood favorite for me.
Yeah.
But I guess
never...
if I want to be a ghost, that's how I'm going to do it.
That's what you do. Watch them all.
Blade. I'm going to watch Blade and just, just be feeling it.
Get them all. Caleb, a person's death only turns into a ghost if they die by number. Right. What's left?
2, 4, 6, or 7.
Oh, can you do 6?
26.
I like 6.
6.
I like the number
Absolutely
6.
6. A serial killer with a sense of humor.
Oh, they gotta have jokes. They gotta have jokes.
They die by. Okay.
They got jokes.
Serial killer with a sense of humor. All right.
And you know what? There's not a lot of those.
No, I guess not. I guess not. You're right.
It's about as rare as my Puppet Master situation.
I think
Ed
had a sense of humor.
Who?
Your boyfriend.
You cut out.
Geen.
Oh yeah, he was just.
I think in order to
he was a laugh riot.
Make his arts and crafts. He had a sense of humor.
Well, it was before the internet. People had to do something.
Had to do something.
I mean, imagine if he was today and he had a Etsy page, though. Holy shit.
I'm gonna pass on any belts that he makes.
Would you?
Or lampshades?
Would you?
I don't want a nipple belt, Caleb. No, I don't want one.
I'm not buying it. I think you're saying it, but I don't think you'd pass.
No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the nipple belt.
But if someone gave it to you?
Oh my God, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so sweet of you. Oh my God, you got me this belt.
Nipple belt. Nipple belt.
It's going to end up in a white elephant someday.
Can we all get matching nipple belt tattoos too?
Negative ghostwriter, that pattern is full.
No more nipple belts for Sandra.
No.
All right. Hey,
you're no fun, Sandra.
Do we know what we're doing next week?
Hey, I picked this week.
I don't know, Neil. It's your pick.
That's
Do we
you,
know what
Neil.
You're doing next week?
I don't think Neil knows what he's doing right now.
No, it's true. I don't. I've been thinking of a movie to watch that I haven't seen since I was a really youngin' kid.
Fortress.
Which one? The Australian one. Yeah, we should watch that. That was a good film. No. Cooey, baby. Okay. So this is out of my wheelhouse. And because it's a fantasy film. And I don't really do fantasy films typically. But I remember this film being a pretty decent one. Sandra's making the god awful faces our podcast.
I'm so confused by where this is going. I feel like this is a very apologetic preamble, and I'm scared.
No, for me, I'm like, Neil, fantasy does not compute.
Right, I know. That's
my head is like,
no, exactly.
Okay. But I remember this film being pretty good because it had violence and it had a little bit of gore, and I don't know, I remember it being a pretty good film. So I think we should give the film Dragon Slayer a watch.
I haven't seen that since I was probably 5 or 6, so I suppose I'm due.
What do you guys think? Is that all right?
No, it's horrible. Hate that movie.
No. Can we do a quiz about dragons? About dragons?
Yeah, let's do it.
Talk about dragons.
Can we do a dragon quiz or something?
Dragons?
Can we do that afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. So Dragon Slayer followed by
you have to say
dragon quiz.
But you have to say dragons.
Dragons? Dragons? Is that good?
It's a great pick, Neil. Just so you know, I'm not going to hate this movie.
Okay, good.
I have no idea how I'm gonna. I don't remember it even slightly. So yeah. Yep.
Awesome. I remember it having some good parts in that. So,
Okay.
but we'll see. I could be completely wrong. It's been a long time.
To the dragons.
Assemble the dragons.
Assemble the dragons. Let's get the dragons in here.
All right. This will hopefully make Scott feel a little happier next week too. Having something a little easier to wrap his fractured brain around.
We'll see how this one scars this time.
All right. Well, thank you everyone. We appreciate it. Don't forget to go look us up on all social media things and send us whatever you want to send us. Thumbs up, likes,
send us
messages.
social media validation.
Send us that and subscribe to this show. God bless it. I know you're here, you're lurking, you're watching. Just hit that subscribe button, would you?
Yeah, believe it or not, it doesn't cost you anything. Like, it really doesn't.
Cost you anything.
It's free.
Free.
It's free. All right, Scott, take us out if you're still awake. He's there. Okay.
He's awake. Or it was on a timer.
I think perfect timing. All right, Hungry Boy, Laura, Kelly, Disco Mark,
Friends,
Washington, Mike the Bee, Mindy, and Laura. I think I already said Mindy. I said Laura. Laura, you got 2.
She deserves it, you know?
She does. Is that everyone already?
That's everybody.
That was quick.
I don't know. I can't see.
Can't be.
Well, if I forgot anyone else, I apologize. I think that was it. Goodbye. One more time. Drag you.